Alright guys, I'm here with a bit of information for Dragon Ball Legends. So the official Dragon Ball Legends Twitter account has just tweeted out, I guess, a type of revamp that will be coming to the Zenkai Awakening system and the ability to obtain Zenkai Souls. So I think that this is an extremely important thing to point out. So I'm gonna break down what the post says and hopefully be able to have everything as clear as possible for you guys to understand, for anybody who's actually confused anyway. So starting off on the very first post, it says Zenkai Awakening Summon Update. For characters whose Zenkai Awakens are newly released from July 1st, 2020 and onward, the amount of Awakening Z power that drops from their designated Zenkai Awakening summons will be adjusted to make it easier to raise Awakening ranks. Characters' Zenkai Awakening conditions will not change, but the amount of Chrono Crystals required for climbing the Awakening ranks will be greatly reduced. Please note that Zenkai Awakening summons released up until now are planned to remain unchanged until November 2020. The revisions are estimated to be applied from November 2020 for previous Zenkai Awakening summons. Thank you for understanding. So what they're saying is characters such as, I'll say, Goku, Beerus, Broly, Gohan, Goku Black, practically any Zenkai unit that has released before July 1st are not going to change their method of approaching their Zenkai Awakening until November 2020. I'm assuming that also applies to Zenkai Trunks and Zenkai Kid Goku. So you don't have to worry about any of those guys changing anytime soon. They won't get changed until November. However, Zenkai Awakening units that come after July 1st will follow the new method of Zenkai Awakening. And this is where some controversy began, because I saw some controversy about this on Twitter, but I actually think that in a general retrospect, this new method is actually a good thing, and I'm going to try to explain why. So if we continue, it says changes to Zenkai Awakening summons. On the left, it shows Zenkai Awakenings released up till now, and of course there were no single summons, but if you did consecutive summon, it would be 300 crystals, and then it shows the percentages of your ability of getting the Zenkai or Awakening Zenkai souls. But anyway, so obviously we had the highest rate of pulling 5 souls, and then a mid-ish range of getting 15, a low rate of getting 30, and a very low rate of getting 70. And then there was no freebie, whereas starting from July 1st, you'll now have the ability to single summon on that. And then you also still have the ability to multi, but the single summon will be 100 and the multi will be 1,000. So kind of like a regular everyday banner minus the daily. And then with the Awakening Z power list, this is where things get very interesting. So instead of it being 5, 15, 30, and 70, it's now 70, 100, 500, and 1,500, which is a major difference. And of course, the pull rates to get these things are actually really good, because with 70, you have a 27.65% chance of getting that particular soul, which is really good, because that used to be the top of, I guess, the current summoning banners for Zenkai Awakening units. So we're already, the very bottom of the new method was the top of our current method right now, which is really good. Not only that, 100, which is going to be one of the biggest ones easily, is a 72% chance, which means that if you do a multi on the new Zenkai Awakening banners, you're practically guaranteed to get a Zenkai or a unit Zenkai Awakened 1 rank, which is huge. And then of course you have the other two, which is 500, and that has a 0.25% chance, and then 1,500 0.1% chance. Obviously it makes sense for those to be extremely rare given what we're able to acquire now. But here's where the controversy began. See, when it came down to the consecutive summons in the current method, a lot of people are used to it because of the low crystal count, but I really do think that some people are actually forgetting that even though the crystal count is low, you still have a very low chance of automatically Zenkai Awakening a unit in 1 multi. Remember that getting the 70 amount was very rare, extremely rare, and you're more prone to getting 5 of the souls for all 10 from the consecutive summon than, getting all 70s or a lot of 30s or whatever case may be. Not saying that's impossible, but the probability is extremely low. That means, for example, if you were to spend 1,200 crystals, you have a higher probability of only getting a total of 200 of those Z powers instead of actually getting a pretty decent amount. Whereas if you spend 1,000 crystals, you're practically guaranteed to get an entire Zenkai rank with the new method. So again, with this revamp to the summoning method, or at least in terms of where crystals are concerned, This is much better entirely. There's no doubt about it. The math is there. Literally, it's much worse now for summoning with crystals than it is going to be come this update. So I think that this actually makes things, well, granted, if people have crystals, this makes things easier for people with crystals than it used to be. But that's just my thoughts on that. But not only that, and well, this is a little bit further ahead, but they did also mention later on in the post that they're actually going to be getting rid of the missions for Zenkai Awakening. So if you guys know, that would be getting your unit up to friendship level 10, getting them up to 7 stars, which actually, well, that requirement's still staying, but you guys get my point, where you would do those missions in order to get your unit to Zenkai level 1 early before the banners drop. They're getting rid of that entirely. They're keeping the ones that are already released right now, so you can try to finish that. But apart from that, that's gone. But I guess to replace that, they're giving you a freebie summon for those Zenkai banners. Well, not the ones that are already released, but again, from July 1st onward, they're giving you a freebie summon, which gives you a consecutive summon of only 100 Z power, which means that from those missions where you really had to grind and like get your units up to like friendship level 10, which they did make it easier with the new equipment, they're saying, you know what, forget all that. We're making it much easier for you. Here's a freebie summon to guarantee your unit to Zenkai level 1. From there, the rest of the grind is on your own. This is a much better alternative all around. Again, it means that everybody, so long as you have the unit and they're at Zenkai level 7, you are 100% guaranteed to get the unit to Zenkai level 1 immediately, instead of having to grind those events to get your units all the way up to friendship level 10, which was the most tedious portion, and then being able to get them up to Zenkai level 1. So all in all, this portion right here is much better. Now we're going to continue because there are a few more things to talk about. So it says other changes. Characters that acquire a Zenkai Awakening from July 1st, 2020 onward will no longer get Zenkai Awakening missions after this update. I think I can skip that particular portion because I just explained that. So again, those missions are completely gone from July 1st onward. Again, units such as Goku Black, Gohan, Beerus, Goku, Broly, etc., they're still going to have their missions because they released before that date, but anything after that date, the missions are no longer going to happen. So I can skip that entire portion. But it says, in addition, as of the next update on July 1st, 2020, the highly requested Super Saiyan Trunks team will finally be Zenkai Awakened. He'll gain additional defensive capabilities as well as offensive bonuses against Lineage of Evil and Frieza Force. Awaken him as an indispensable character to any hybrid Saiyan party. This is big, right? Because one, we have all been asking for these Trunks to be a Zenkai unit for Lord knows how long now, right? But I think this actually helps out Hybrid Saiyan in particular, because even though you could probably throw this Trunks in the future if you wanted to in some way, shape, or form, but it's the sheer fact that there are now three hybrid units that we have, and they all cover a different element factor, because you have the free Zenkai Trunks that covers blue, you have the Zenkai Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan, which covers purple, and now you have Trunks, which covers red. Hybrid is probably gonna start becoming a threat sometime soon, bro, because if I'm not mistaken, they are the only tag with that many Zenkai. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. I mean, you do have Goku and Broly, and you know, some other units, but I mean, you also have K Goku who's also saying, so yeah, there's some leeway there, but it's actually starting to become very, very scary. But it's gonna be nice to see what this Trunks can do with Zenkai Awakening now. Hopefully this boosts him, because a lot of people really wanted this unit to get a Zenkai Awakening, myself included. So I'm really hoping that those defensive capabilities are prominent. I think that's very, very important, especially with him being a red unit. And again, we still have Vegito Blue on the loose. We're gonna need him to really be bulky, but again, we'll see in due time. And then this is the next important part: adjustments to obtaining Zenkai Souls. The Recycle Center Exchange Shop will be established in mid-July to make it easier to obtain Zenkai Souls necessary for Zenkai Awakening boost panels. There you can exchange regular Rising Souls and Super Souls for Zenkai Souls. Plus, there are plans to make it possible to exchange Z medals for Zenkai Souls in the near future. I think that portion is the most important, because when it came down to Z medals, in the beginning of the life of the game, they were actually viable because you would get equipment and whatnot, and you know, whatever else the Z Metal Shop in particular actually provided. Now there's literally not a single reason to use any of the Z metals. I have over 200 or I believe 300,000 of those metals, and I have no use for them whatsoever. So for them to actually give them a new purpose in this particular case to get Zenkai souls is very big. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heroes all maxed out, some extreme units all maxed out, and you just have nothing to use those metals for. Now you do. So I think that's actually going to be really good, because I even said on Twitter that using the adventures to get Zenkai souls, in my opinion, is one of the most terrible ideas they could have done, only because of how long it takes for those adventures to complete, and the probability of you getting the soul or the amount of souls that you need are very low. So it makes no sense to do that method, but now they're revamping it so we have a bit more control over it. I'm all for that. So yeah, and of course, like, this random one is kind of like just in here, but multi-Z power, we plan on expanding the multi-Z powers obtainable from events by setting 1 to 3 stars and 4 to 6 star upper limits from the next update. Also, the Legends limited multi-Z powers from the previous announcement are still in development. So I just wanted to slightly touch on that, because of the fact that, well, Legends limited units can't use multi-Z powers, unfortunately, but they're working on a way to implement a Legends limited version of multi-Z powers. So I just wanted to throw that in there. But all in all, I think that this is actually a good update. Now, one thing I can see concern of is whether or not you're still able to utilize tickets, right? Because we're able to earn tickets from doing co-op, which I think in that right is perfectly fine, right? And they haven't said anywhere in the in this entire post that they're getting rid of the ticket feature. They did show, like, you know, the summons with, you know, crystals and the freebie summon, but they never specified on the tickets, you know, like much like Kid Goku and Zenkai Trunks. So I'm hoping that they still keep the ticket method, because I think that's really good, and they can have it as like a separate, you know, banner where, you know, you just use the tickets instead. But there's no mention of that anywhere here. So whether or not they're still using tickets or not to be determined, but we'll see in due time. And I can understand that if they get rid of tickets, then that would upset people, because that was the free to play method that a lot of people seem to be okay with. But if they take that out in favor of only using crystals, I can see that being a problem. So I'm hoping that they still keep the ticket method. But all in all, with the initial revamp of the Zenkai Awakening system in terms of summoning for the Z powers, this is a much better alternative. It's cheaper all around to actually get your unit boosted as quick as possible. And on top of that, they give you a guaranteed Zenkai rank 1. So I think that's actually really good. But still, when it comes down to crystals, this is a much better option. It is cheaper all around by 200, actually significantly more than by 200, because you needed way more crystals just to get a rank. But I do want to know what you guys think about all this in the comment section below. Are you guys down for the new changes to the summoning version of the I guess of the Zenkai Awakening system, like in terms of crystals anyway? Are you guys okay with it now costing significantly less to get your unit up a Zenkai rank than it does currently? Are you guys actually excited for the red Zenkai, I guess, Future Trunks that's going to be coming, the unit that we've all requested, by the way? And are you guys actually excited for the Legends limited multi-Z powers that'll be coming soon? Let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, I'm Ndukauba. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.